Concept 20 is the Albert King style bend. Now these are pretty tough to get together. One thing you have to keep in mind about Albert King was he played a righty strung guitar lefty. And these bends are on the high E string. So what he would do is pull the string downwards towards the floor, as opposed to us having to push it upwards. That gives him a heck of a lot more hand strength when he pulls that high E string downwards towards the floor to get these big bends. What it leaves us with is sometimes our fingertips really hurting, and as I said in the earlier concept, your fingertip separating from your nail a little bit. So we got to keep that in mind. So I'm going to try to simplify some of the way Albert King would do it so a way that we could do it without really hurting ourselves too badly. So now what Albert King would do is if we use this box of our A minor position, A minor pentatonic scale number 2, very famous kind of popular position here. So we have E, G, A, C, D, and if we go to our blue note, E flat and E. So what we have here, we have a C sharp in here, which we could use from our major pentatonic scale. So what we end up having is C, C sharp, D, E flat, and E. So we get these great chromatic notes from the flat third to the 5. And what Albert would do, and then subsequently Stevie Ray Vaughan, is find all those bends. We can get to each one of those notes from a half step or a whole step below. So we're kind of tying in our bend section here too. So the first one is similar to what we just did for those between bends. Right? Then. So what Albert would do a lot is bend up the whole step, D to E, C sharp to C, I'm sorry, C sharp to D, then C, almost a C sharp, then to my A. So we've got a... So I'm really playing off of those notes. And I can really vibrato the last note as a natural, a C sharp, for my A chord. Let me show you that one because I know you want to know what I just did there. I'm bending my D up into my A, and here's what we want to do. We want to kind of pitch your finger. I'm going to do an upstroke, and I'm going to push the string in so it kind of touches my B string. Let's get those great overtones. So I'd get like a... That's great in neck pickup. Okay, so let's check that out over a track, and I'll try to channel Albert as much as I can. Another great use of this is Stevie Ray Vaughan's Texas Flood. Both those guys are a real master at this technique. This is not easy stuff. This is one of those things that you really got to work on. That being said, when you do it, you sound like Albert King. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there for guitar players. When you start doing this thing, everybody's like, oh, he's doing the Albert King thing. So my feeling on these kind of things is learn it, but also realize you're really copping the Albert King vibe. And so for me as a player, you know, you ride that line of wanting to know the history, which is exceptionally important, and then also sounding a lot like somebody else. That's Albert King.